Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy. For Nerds by Nerds, I'm Nerdarchist Ted, and today I'm joined by
Nerdarchyst Dave.
And it's time for another Unearthed Arcana, this time the Eladrin and Gith. Jump down the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy the newsletter, get weekly gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
It's Monday, and it's the Monday after Unearthed Arcana had came out. So you know what we like to do here. We like to talk about Unearthed Arcana.
Alright, so this time we got the Eladrin and the Gith. They don't have any fancy name for it. It's just two new races, however you want to look at it, for us to play around with and enjoy.
I had at least one person tweet at me that they were kind of pissy about the new version of the Eladrin. So the Eladrin gets redone from the DMG, and we get a new version. So this version is a little wonky, a little wacky, but not necessarily in a bad way.
Now, I actually, saw the video of them talking about, the reasons for the Eladrin's mood swings, for lack of a better word, or like you could choose to go with the seasons, or you could just be like, nope, I'm winner all the time. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and it gave the race or sub race a lot more diversity and interest, if you ask me.
If you play the Eladrin, and I guess let's get into that a little bit. So the idea is that the Eladrin lives his life going through the 4 seasons, but he doesn't have to. But a lot of them do. So, but that kind of goes with Fae being fickle, right? So there's a mechanic built in here where you could just randomly roll what season you are. And you could do that whenever you feel like it. Maybe you come up with a random mechanic to decide when you feel like it. However you want to do it, or you never feel like it. But literally, like that randomness, that's how I picture someone playing chaotic neutral right to be doing it. Like this is it. This is how you be chaotic neutral. Not that bullshit that most of the players do where they're, I don't actually want to be any alignment and I'm going to do whatever I want whenever I want, so I'm chaotic neutral. That's not how chaotic neutral works.
Right.
This is how it should work.
So we get into the four personality types are based off of the 4 seasons. And autumn is the season of peace and goodwill, when the summer's harvest is shared with all. Winter is the season of dollar, when the vibrant energy of the world slumbers. Spring is the season of cheerfulness and unfettered celebration. Summer is the season of boldness and aggression, a time of unfettered energy.
I find it funny that summer is the season of
Anger.
I've got a bad attitude. I like it. I dig it.
It's like, wait a second. This is when, the kids are off, people are on vacation. This is when everyone's supposed to be angry? Really?
No, absolutely. Now that you put it that way, they're absolutely right. You can't wait till fall when they go back to school so you can be serene and peaceful again. No. You tell this was written by someone that has kids that are at a school age.
So, having gone through that recently myself, I can't argue with that.
So for each season, you get personality traits and flaws. Your ideals and your bonds stay the same, though.
Right. So that's actually something that I thought was pretty cool, and I think would be incredibly handy for, like, each of the other races as well. Even though they don't change like this, I think having racial personality traits and flaws might be a cool thing to have.
Oh yeah, that definitely would be interesting. The way it's done in here is really cool. I like it. It might take away from the other races a little bit, but the fact that they change is pretty cool.
Right. And, you can go through, each of these different things. We're not going to read all of them, but I thought it was, pretty cool. Like, you trust others without thought. You stock up on fine foods and drink. You hate going without such comforts. A penny spent is a penny lost forever. Everything dies eventually. Why bother building anything that is meant to last? Like holy crap.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, you could be in one season and I trust everything, and you mean another season, I don't trust a goddamn thing. That chair's a mimic.
You could you overdrink. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. You stand tall and strong so that others can lean on you. You are stubborn. Let others change. Your fury can carry you through anything. Whoa! So, good stuff. Once we actually get down into the traits, since it's a sub-race, they actually didn't repeat the standard Elven block. But you get your choice of intelligence or charisma, which I'm actually really happy with, that you could go with either spellcasting choice, intelligence, or...
You could be a pretty elf or a smart elf. You get to pick. You can't be both.
What if you want to be a pretty smart elf?
You're SOL, man. SOL.
You get Face Step as a bonus action. You can magic teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Once you use this trait, you can't do it again until you finish a short or long rest. And then you get the cool thing where you get a shifting cantrip. So depending upon what season you're in,
Well, it's called shifting season, so.
depending upon what season you're in, gets you a cantrip. So some people are going to be like, well, I want Firebolt, so I'm going to be summer all the time. So I'm angry and, blah. Other people are going to like, well, I want to actually get into the race, so I want to roll randomly and determine what I'm doing, and I'll just get whatever cantrip I get. So autumn is Friends, winter is Chill Touch, spring is Minor Illusion, and as I said, summer is Firebolt.
So you get 3 good ones to choose from. You might get stuck with Friends. Or also known as instantly make not friends.
Friends, use this to get an advantage now, to have an enemy later.
Pretty much. So it feels, I like it. It's good. It feels a little bit powerful compared to like some of the other stuff. Because I think what you're giving up is you're giving up weapon training, right? Weapon training generally is more fun and cool than it is useful. Either you have a class that gives you the weapons, or you take a class where you have no business using those weapons. Like something has gone horribly wrong if you're the wizard now fighting with a longsword. I mean, aside from maybe if you're a blade singer, but if you've been around a while, you know how I tend to feel about Gishes. They're fun to play, but not super effective.
Right. So now we have the Gith. And it breaks it down. We have...
Is this the gift that keeps on giving?
Well, we get 2 of them, so I don't think it keeps giving. But...
For at least 2.
So we have the Gith Yankee and the Gith Zerai. So the Gith core traits, you get your intelligence by 1. So that tells you right off the bat that the bulk of what they're getting is going to be in the sub race, which I actually thought was a pretty strong foundation. And other than that, you get the language. You get, age. They reach adulthood in their late teens and live about a century. They're taller and leaner than humans, with most a slender 6 feet in height. Base walking speed of 30. You can read and write Common and Gith.
They did put in there the fact that you kind of look like an alien.
Well, they just said that you're thinner and leaner.
So that's the base. Now we get into the subclasses. Gith Yankee?
So Gith Yankee, the brutal Gith Yankee are trained from birth as warriors. You get +2 to your strength. You tend towards lawful evil. They are self-centered, violent, and arrogant, yet remain faithful servants of their Lich Queen Vlaakith.
So when I think of Gith Yankee and 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons now, I kind of feel, okay, Eldritch Knight maybe?
Seeing strength and intelligence totally would make sense for that. You get Decadent Mastery. You learn 1 language of your choice and are proficient with 1 skill or tool of your choice. In the timeless city of Tu Narath, Gith Yankee have bountiful time to master odd bits of knowledge. So that's a skill in 3 languages. Not too bad for a race. Martial Prodigy. You are proficient with light and medium armor. Your people are ever ready for war. That's not bad.
That is definitely not bad. Intelligence is your good stat, so you could be some kind of war wizard if you want. Fairly easily, you get to slather on armor.
So, like, you could go, I'm going to put my 15 in intelligence, bump that to a 16. I'm going to be just a wizard, so I'll dump my strength, get rid of that -1. Say a pretty good trade-off if you ask me.
And put on this armor.
And then put on the medium armor because, I'm Gith, therefore I'm awesome.
I'm Gith, I'm awesome, and it's better than mage armor for the most part. So
absolutely. So then we get into Gith Yankee Psionics. You know the Mage Hand cantrip. When you reach 3rd level, you can cast Jump once with this trait, and you regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. When you reach 5th level, you can cast the Misty Step spell with this trait. You regain, again, at a long rest. And you choose Intelligence as your spellcasting ability.
Yeah, I'm going to get into those a little bit more after we do Gith Zerai. But yeah, they're pretty cool.
So Gith Zerai, Wisdom by 2. And that's totally fitting since they're monks. Alignment, they tend towards lawful neutral. Their rigorous training and psychic abilities require an impeccable mental discipline. Now, here's the awesome part. All right, you're already getting a +2 to your wisdom, which means you're going to be a better monk. Then they get monastic training. You gain a +1 bonus to AC while you aren't wearing medium or heavy armor, and you aren't using a shield. Wow, that's just that's pretty awesome.
There's a couple of things with that. One, that means you get that with light armor. So if you're a rogue, nice, not bad at all.
Now you're getting intelligence and wisdom, so not things that are typically leaned heavily towards with a rogue, but it goes well with monk. You could start off with a 16 armor class naked as a monk. Not bad. I mean, it pairs up there with some of the other like a wood elf monk.
It's going to be better at the top end.
Yes.
So there's that.
And they also get Githzerai Psionics. They know Mage Hand, Shield at 3rd level, and then Detect Thoughts at 5th.
Here's where we get interesting. Read the very last sentence.
Wisdom is your spellcasting abilities for these spells. You can cast all of them without spell components.
Right. So
that's for both Gith. Have that.
Yes, but this one gets a bonus to wisdom. This one is an awesome Circle of the Moon druid that can use its spell-like abilities while it's wild-shaped. No spell components. It doesn't mean material components. No spell. Verbal, somatic, nothing. So you would technically, it's a psionic ability. You would technically be able to use it. You also get that bonus to armor class.
Oh.
And we are a Circle of the Moon druid, so we do not care about our physical stats. Anyway, it's not nearly as important.
That's pretty crazy.
That Mage Hand, that's not once per day, right? That's at will?
The Mage Hand cantrip.
Right, so you get to use that all the time. So one of the major limitations to being wild-shaped is you don't have any hands. And you can't communicate with people, but whatever, you don't have any hands. And without hands, you know what you can't do? You can't drink out of a coffee mug. But this guy can.
So I'm now picturing, because David always transforms into a dinosaur. I now see that dinosaur sitting there drinking the mug of ale.
He's underage. You can't drink out coffee.
Coffee, whatever you wanna do. But
so yeah, I don't know if it's an oversight, if it's something that'll get changed later on, but it definitely leaves some room to do some things that you couldn't do before.
So I'm going to say that they probably meant without material components.
But spell-like abilities usually don't require any. And well, it's not that. It's not because it's spell-like ability. It's because it's supposed to be psionic. Mm-hmm. And the idea that it's psionic means you don't have to use any spell components.
That is true. So detect thoughts, shield, man.
That's it. That was the other one that's really nice. And the fact that you can use Mage Hand is kind of fun anyway. As someone that's wild shaped. Like, literally, there's times when you got to unwild shape to do stuff like open a door or something. Not anymore. Yeah.
Rawr.
So, I'm sure it's maybe not as intended. Maybe that's what I'm going to have to send out to Sage Advice to see if we get an answer. But, and I don't even know how relevant it is, guys. I just thought it was funny.
That's something that I didn't connect those lines. It's definitely cool to have it in there as psionics and to have those things featured as psionic abilities, whether it's intended to be usable in that particular vein.
So whether you want to play a psionic monk or a psionic monkey, you have that options. So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can check us out over on Facebook.
So until next time,
stay nerdy. Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. I'm Nerdarchist Ted, and today I'm joined by
Nerdarchist Dave.
And it's time for another Unearthed Arcana, this time the Eladrin and Gith. Jump down the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy the newsletter, get weekly gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
It's Monday, and it's the Monday after Unearthed Arcana had came out. So you know what we like to do here. We like to talk about Unearthed, necessarily in a bad way.
Now, I actually, saw the video of them talking about, the reasons for the Eladrin's mood swings, for lack of a better word, or like you could choose to go with the seasons, or you could just be like, nope, I'm winner all the time. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and it gave the the race or sub-race, a lot more diversity.
Unearthed Arcana.
All right, so this time we got the Eladrin and the Gith. They don't have any fancy name for it. It's just two new sub-races, however you want to look at it, for us to play around with and enjoy.
I had at least one person tweet at me that they were kind of pissy about the new version of the Eladrin. So the Eladrin gets redone from the DMG, and we get a new version. So this version is a little wonky, a little wacky, but not a mechanic to decide when you feel like it, however you want to do it, or you never feel like it. But literally, like that randomness, that's how I picture someone playing chaotic neutral right to be doing it. Like this is it. This is how you be chaotic neutral. Not that bullshit that most of the players do where they're, oh, I don't actually want to be any alignment and I'm going to do whatever I want whenever I want, so I'm chaotic neutral. That's not how chaotic neutral works.
Right.
This is how it should work.
So we get into the fort and interest, if you ask me.
If you play the Eladrin, and I guess let's get into that a little bit. So the idea is that the Eladrin lives his life going through the 4 seasons, but he doesn't have to. But a lot of them do. So, but that kind of goes with Fae being fickle, right? So there's a mechanic built in here where you could just randomly roll what season you are. And you could do that whenever you feel like it. Maybe you come up with a random